does nothing but blow up a bunch of stuff. I don't even understand how he continues to get funding from the government, but he does. How you doing, True Royal?
I'm doing fine. How's the sound? I'm doing a live also on my channel too as well.
Okay, no, you sound
So
fine.
okay, so I just need to check real quick to make sure that I have merged with you.
Okay.
I got to just do a quick check. I think I have, but so I'm gonna go back on mute just so I can check
Well,
everything real quick.
just to let you know, I do see it.
Oh,
I
you
see it on my end. Yes.
okay? Okay. I still don't see it. Just give me just a second.
Okay.
I'm gonna go on mute real quick.
Mhm. Okay, y'all. So we're gonna look at a video of somebody that actually filmed the entire thing. From the time it exploded, because on the news they just show you the explosion. They don't show you, all of the things that led up to it. But I have a video where you'll see the entire thing, the explosion, the people's reaction. So you'll get the whole thing. But it's amazing how this government has given Elon billions of dollars for this SpaceX program, and they have not had one launch that has been successful. Not one. I guess that's all you got to do is have the right complexion, and you can get anything you want, and you can fail as much as you want to and still get billions of dollars. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Excuse me, Lisa. We're all good on. I'm all good on my end. I just didn't see it right away. At all. Excuse me for that. Um. So. I see that. People. Give me a number 17 if everything is okay with the sound and everything. You can hear me and Lisa. Um. Collectively together, and that would be it.
Yeah, I see your people in there. I see
Okay.
them in.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything's cool. All right, Lisa. Excuse me. I'll let you finish giving the presentation.
So, y'all, we're going to go ahead and look at the video so you can see exactly what happened. So, it caused a lot of damage. I just looking at the explosion, I cannot imagine how many toxins that people inhaled from this thing. It
And
had to be pretty bad.
Lisa, you said you found the entire video. How long is the entire video?
Well, it's a couple of guys talking. The
Uh-huh.
first 5 minutes, I would say, is junk. It's just them talking about a bunch of nothing,
Uh-huh.
and then they get into it, so about 12 minutes of it is more
Oh.
significant. So I got 12 minutes of it,
Oh, you
all
gotta
right?
okay, you gotta yeah, because there's like you said, there's bits and pieces. And I couldn't I seen the whole duration of it, but I couldn't remember how long it was. That's why I had
Yeah.
asked. Um and all. So and remember my royal family, this is um number 36.
Can you
Um,
imagine that? You had 36 failed launches, and the government is still giving you billions and billions of dollars.
mhm, mhm,
For this space program that has not gone anywhere up until now.
mhm.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yes, it really is amazing. And like I said, I don't want to go too far into it just yet, Lisa, until you to your presentation because I have so much to say about this. Um, so I'll just be quiet for now and hold back.
Okay, y'all, let's go ahead and watch the video. Give me a one if you can see my screen, and then we'll get started. Oh, well, Elon, he's allowed to fail 36 times, probably another 36 times too. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. All right, here we go, y'all.
Fighting Falcon is wondering, weather-wise, with these tests at least, have they done a static fire during a storm, or at least during the rain? Jack, I don't think they have. I feel like weather still plays a role in static fire testing in addition to just flights, right?
How does weather play into it?
Like, would they static fire while it's raining?
Yeah, probably. I mean, even the other day when they... Whoa!
Whoa! What? That's
No!
Ooh, Lord.
Oh my God.
It appears there has been a
Ship 36 just blew up. Ship 36 just blew up. It just blew up.
So about those launch dates, I think that may delay a bit, as we've just experienced a RUD of Ship 36 prior to a planned static fire test at the Massey's test site in Starbase, Texas. You can still hear some of the popping. The screen went completely white there with that.
Oh my God, I'm shaking.
What
That was the craziest thing I've ever seen. The stuff is still cooking off at Massey's. I don't even...
So, Jack, if you get a chance to try and explain what it looked like and what it sounded like from out in the field.
I mean, I just looked up and saw bright white. I'm sorry, the exposure on the camera was toast. That was... What? I mean, stuff's cooking off. Can you guys hear that? Things are cooking off at Massey's right now.
Yeah.
Let's listen for a bit.
You listen close, you can actually hear the popping noise.
Mm-hmm.
You can still hear things popping, it sounds like. Is that what you're talking about, Jack?
Yeah, it just sounds like pop, pop, pop. It's a loud rumbling, and in fact, I can see the plume sort of illuminating in conjunction with that sound. I can see some debris falling. It looks like some flaming debris. I hope we don't get any kind of wildfire. I hope everybody is okay. I mean, that's why they clear out Massey's, and wherever they're doing any tests, that's why they have a blast danger area, and that's why they clear it out. That is so many questions at this point. What on earth just happened? This is not bode well for the Starship program. And I mean, of course, SpaceX will pick up the pieces and figure out what went wrong. But very clearly, a hugely catastrophic anomaly, a huge setback for the Starship program. I mean, how are they going to test any ships? How are they going to cryo any boosters? How are they going to do anything at Massey's? This is not good. This is so not good.
And it's worth noting, the fire there is still burning. This is still a very active situation there after that explosion. Not just, as you pointed out, the destruction of the ship, but based off of the sounds of what we can see, that looks like damage to the Massey's test site, which right now is the only place capable of testing those ships.
I mean,
you can still hear the popping.
If we can go back and just remember,
I'm still hearing things cook off. I'm worried about all the propellant tanks and everything. I mean, there could be more explosions coming shortly here as things continue to burn.
Most important, Jack, D, Caesar, Jerry, please be safe out there. If you need to get off and move, let us know. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Max. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. I mean, we're all just watching this as it unfolds. The methane side of the tank farm is very close in proximity from what we can tell to where ship is, or rather was at this point. And we don't know how full it was, whether they filled the tank farm like ship with just enough to support a set length static fire, or if it's near full at all times to support any operations. But worth noting that at the time of what we saw with the anomaly, the liquid oxygen tank was almost full, and they only had just enough methane to that point to support a however long duration static fire SpaceX was aiming to go for tonight. So they had plenty of oxygen in the tank. If it was a full methane tank, we would be seeing a much different scenario in a much larger explosion. So in the grand scheme of things right now, it could have been way worse, but this is so far from optimal. It's not even funny.
No,
I mean, this is the word I would use is catastrophic.
legit. Not even any jokes to make
Yeah.
on this one. This is why that is probably the largest explosion we've seen since the SN days.
I would say bigger. I honestly would say bigger. Like if you think about SN10 landing and then exploding, they did not have a full load of locks.
Yep.
And there wasn't a tank farm immediately next to it that got hit by it. I mean, there was a tank farm next to it, but it landed on the landing pad. I am seeing a large, but it landed on the landing pad. I am seeing a large, and forgive me if I'm like babbling, I'm riding the adrenaline wave. I'm seeing a large, dark cloud of smoke now rising from Massey's. That's not great. I don't necessarily want to breathe that in. So I might be packing up my camera here shortly, but Matthews is continuing to burn. This is very not good.
I was going to say, if you need to go, if you need to get a mask, if you need to move, please, just most important is you being safe. We have the drone view up right now as well. You could see that smoke that Jack was talking about moving off to the left side of your screen. That looks, again, there was the main spot where the ship was. And then, of course, there is the tank farms all around it as well, which, as Jack was pointing out, is definitely a concern. And you can still see how bright those fires are, which the exposure was set in that we would drop it right before the static fire so that you have a better view. So that's why it initially looked as bright as it did, but even still now you could see how bright those fires still are at Massey's. And we are working replays. We have D with the slow motion coming shortly as well. We have the drone up there. We will pull replays and be able to look through this again and see what happened. But for those just joining,
yeah,
go ahead.
As we wait for those, looking back, it looks like the explosion originated, I want to say, from the headers, definitely from the top of the ship, like nose cone area. So to me, that would be header tanks or potentially transfer tube area. I believe the view you're going to see that on is from CP11. And of course, whatever D and the other views that we have are. I'm so sorry. My view overexposed immediately. I feel like a clown, but that's how it goes when you're exposed for nighttime.
Jack, you still got it. You still got it, Jack. You're all good.
Exactly. And again, keep in mind, like we were talking about, you had that set up, the exposure, figuring we would just be able to watch it fuel up, and then right before the test, you would drop it. We did not expect this to happen. Those just joining, there was a massive explosion just before a planned static fire test of Ship 36. This is the Massey's test site that you're looking at right now in Starbase, Texas, a little bit away from the launch site itself. As they were doing the fueling, all of a sudden there was a large, massive explosion. We continued to hear sounds that sounded like popping for quite a while afterwards of potential additional explosions going on there. So right now, Massey's is, as you can see, quite on fire. Big, billowing black smoke there.
Hey, Sawyer. So
yes,
I'm looking back through some of our footage on a different computer, and it looks like there was two different explosions. Jack was on point about the first one seeming to originate from the header tank area of the ship, and the second one seemed to be the actual methane tank itself mixing with the LOX tank as those came apart. This feels and looked eerily similar to what happened with Amos 6 and Falcon 9 way back many years ago, almost 10 years ago now. Obviously we have absolutely no clue as to the exact origin or cause of what happened, and hopefully a lot of our replays can give us a better idea. But it looks like there were two separate explosions, the first coming from the header tank side of the ship.
Yeah, and per D in the back channel, we will see their slow motion shortly, but from what they're saying in the back channel, very much two explosions at least. And again, they had it recorded in slow motion, and we will have that at some point as well here. Right now, though, just continuing to watch the fire not dying down at all at Massey's following this. I mean, I don't want to say too much at this point. Anything else is speculation, but I think it's safe to say that the Starship program is definitely going to have a pause for a while here as things get reevaluated, and that version 2 boosters have not had the best of luck to this point. I'm sorry, what was that?
Version 2 ships, not boosters.
Ships, excuse me. Yes, sorry. I think we're all a little taken aback by what just happened here.
Yeah, I'll say.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say, like, we haven't seen any sort of anomaly or explosion like this, certainly in the testing phase of Starship in a long time.
Fire getting bigger?
That could be. I mean, there are a lot of resources to burn over at Massey's. Methane being, of course, one of the most dangerous. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, that fire is definitely burning.
No, there's not even anything on the stand anymore.
No.
I can just see the stand sitting there with nothing on it.
Oh, wow. You can see it through the smoke there. Yes.
The ship is just completely obliterated. I mean, I assume it looks like SN10 did, just sort of a flattened husk. What a terrible thing to have happen.
Yeah, I mean, SN10, I mean, you could see the pieces flying, though, for a while. This just seemed more like a combustion event than pieces going everywhere. Okay. Yeah.
That visual is just haunting. Good Lord.
To think of all the aerial views that Jack and the team has gotten up there of Massey's and what it looks like now is going to be quite something to see.
Yeah, I mean, we like to fly and we like to keep track of what's going on in Starbase. Usually the things we like to keep track of is the progress, right? I have a feeling we should fly probably pretty soon to see what the state of Massey's is, because that's an important thing. We need to know what the damage from this is going to be like so we can inform our estimates in terms of how long is it going to take to get Massey's back up and running, and therefore how long is it going to take to get the next set of flight hardware static fired safely.
Question, were there any parts related to the tower or the pad or anything for pad B still at Massey's? So they had worked on part of the deluge and all of the cooling there. Was that still there, or is that mostly gone?
Not that I'm aware of.
So no real impact then to pad B's construction in terms of pieces that were still there or being worked on.
Okay, y'all.
Lisa?
Yes.
Lord have mercy. Their voices is making me sick.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't stand listening to them two guys. Lord, that was torture.
Yeah, it is terrible. I feel sorry for the people that live around there. Can you imagine, that waking you up and then the smell? You can't tell me that stuff did not smell bad. Those toxic, all that smoke and fire and toxins in the air, and that had to be terrible. And they said methane, which I do believe they would have to use that for rockets, and just that whole combination, that had to be sickening for them people that lived around there.
Yeah, I got an article that I wanted to read bits and pieces as you
I got an article on it too.
Yeah,
but
I got an article, so I don't cross over with you. The article that I want to share is the reaction from the residents itself.
Okay, well, I'm going to mute myself. You can go right ahead.
No, I'll just go in between, Lisa, because I'm not going to read all this article. It's quite a bit. So you start first, and then I know when I think I'll know when to jump in, please.
Are you now? I'm going to have to be mad at you now.
Okay. Listen, that's fine. No problem. I don't want to get a spanking.
Hold on. I was trying to sneak in some cherries.
Oh, you're wrong. Eat your cherries and let me start. So
anyway, this happened on June 18th. Okay. And this was supposed to be a test that they were trying to do. And as you can see, it failed miserably. Now, I don't know what kind of standards they use, but I did heard that Elon don't like following the rules, and he'll go around. And according to what I was hearing, he was under investigation because Elon wants to do these launches when he feels like it, but the launches must be scheduled. They must be scheduled because there are planes and all kinds of flights going in and out of that area. That's why they want to know in advance before he tries to launch anything, whether it's a test or not. And Elon has a tendency of doing these things and not saying anything to the proper authorities. And plus the residents around there, they are sick of Elon. They want this SpaceX program gone.
Yes, absolutely. So y'all got to keep in mind that this happened on a Wednesday at 11 p.m. at night. So the residents were not aware that he was going to launch another rocket. Now, my royal family, keep in mind, it blew up the entire platform and any other structures that was around it. Normally, it does launch and it explodes in the atmosphere. But I mean, this one exploded at the launch pad. And based on what I'm seeing here in this article, the residents, it impacted the residents so bad that let me get to it. So
Well,
so this is what they're saying, that no injuries were reported. The boom has ignited concerns for environmental damage and the social injustice residents have endured since Starbase have arrived. Residents across the region were startled and confused with reports of shaking and homes rattling coming from Brownsville. And some people said many even thought their homes were being broken into when the shake caused their doors and windows to shake. Then I caught something here that's deep. Now, a lot of people don't know this little town is Elon had made it where it's his town. Now, to show you that we know how an election has been rigged. So the SpaceX launch site, formerly located in Brownsville, Texas, okay, pretty much this is their newest little city, and they put a measure together to allow Elon to do what he wanted to do. And the Starbase, when they voted, the vote was 212 votes to have it and 6 votes against it. But check this out. None of the residents is 100 and over 100,000, almost 200,000 residents in Brownsville. Now they voted, check this out. You damn near got 200,000 residents. And when the people went to vote for the measure, 212 voted for it and 6 against it. The 212 that voted for it is the people that work for Elon. Ain't that something? I'll leave it right there. I got more to say, but I'm going to leave it right there at this point.
Well, yeah, and that happened on ground level. And you saw it's surrounded by water. So, a lot of those toxins went into the water as well. And, those people, they got to drink that water. They, and use that water and shower with that water. And Elon don't care. You know how polluted that water got to be just from him being there? Every single explosion and all those pieces landing in the ocean, the rocket fuel going in the ocean. He's really jacking that place up. And I'm even wondering how much of the fish life has died around that area. You really don't hear anything about that.
No, I've been keeping up with it, Lisa. That's why I was so glad when you said that you was going to do a video about it. There's like been a lot of residents been protesting, and people who grew up in that area, and they used, they would go to the beach a lot, and they said nobody even go to the beach anymore because everything is polluted. You don't see any more of the wildlife around. And Elon, Elon came in there basically like, we gonna make things better, and he done made things worse. And with his money and his influence, he literally then made this his own. He got his own damn city, his own city.
Well,
And
Donald Trump is the president of no regulations, right?
there you
Donald
go.
Trump regulations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he's not. Elon ain't gonna follow no rules. He's too arrogant for that.
Yeah, because
You know what's I don't celebrate my birthday. I haven't in many years. But Elon and I actually share the same birthday. It made my stomach turn.
Poor thing.
Made my stomach turn. So anyway, the environmental damage, I just can't imagine what kind of lung and respiratory problems these residents are going to have in the years to come. I just can't imagine how bad it's going to be for them. I really feel sorry for them.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. And the residents, they feel very insulted. You never know when he's going to launch these rockets. In fact, he had it set up.
To think about that, if you wanted to enjoy a night on the beach and he launched one of them things, you know what I mean? That's always exploding. Nah, I wouldn't want to be out there either.
Now, in this article, the very thing that you were talking about, they said another concern resurfacing in the aftermath of the explosion is the environmental toll of Musk's test, which impact both people and wildlife, from polluting the air we breathe to rocket debris raining down on fragments, and people who it said people what actions are they going to get from the leaders? What Elon has essentially done in this little small hick town, he purposely do things. He went to a small hick town and he influenced them with his money so he could have his damn way.
Yeah, none. Their political leaders are not going to do anything. In fact, it's not going to do anything. I bet you every dime in my wallet, over the next few months, you'll probably hear about Elon landing another contract, billion-dollar contract.
Yeah, that's pretty much how they, it's like when the cops shoot us. A lot of people don't know they get a promotion when they shoot us. You'll blatantly see that they did something wrong, and this is how they white world is, where when their failures is they reward their failures. But how, like I was saying, Lisa, because I've been really going out of my way to learn a lot more about Elon. And I said, how is this dude getting these contracts? And remember, I was saying to you privately, I said, now he gets somebody to put the proposal together, and then he goes in there and bullshits him. But his bullshit is, I'm going to do things cheap, fast, and efficient. And if there's a reason why you have inspectors for many things, because like somebody might have a furnace in their house, and you would never want Elon to own the company to a furnace because it's gonna blow up. You want people to test that stuff, and that's what Elon don't want. He wants to do what he want to do when he want to do it. Now this stuff is affecting wildlife. It's affecting the water, it's affecting the air you breathe, and all of that. And all you got to do is just throw some money at a few of them people. See, this is the thing that I do like, because I'm understanding more and more when they say that Esau in the last days would eat his own. Look at how they're even exploiting their own. He know to go to a little small redneck hick town and get them people, a couple of their little leaders in that hick down some money, and he gonna come and do what he want to do. You know, because they ain't never seen no money like that at the end of the day. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. But you know, True Royal, the thing is, I wonder if those residents can sue. You know, just from everything they've been through up
Mhm.
until now. And how many, because I would love to know in the coming weeks how many of them are experiencing any illnesses from this.
Now, when I'm looking into that right now. Now they says SpaceX employees. Check this out. SpaceX employees vote to make Starbase, Texas, newest city. Okay, this was an article that was put out May 3rd. So that's what I was essentially saying. So when they did the vote, these are the people that essentially work for Elon. But those 200,000 residents, they wasn't part of the voting process at all.
Which makes no sense. They should actually have more weight in this whole thing than some employees. I'm just saying. They live there. They got to live with what is going on in that area. Now, the article that I have said, this is what it says. I'll just read a portion of this. It says, in the aftermath, SpaceX has paused further static fire and rollout activities at Starbase, while internal investigators alongside local and federal safety agencies work to determine the root cause. The sources within the company warn that the delay could push back the long anticipated 10th Starship launch by several weeks, as repairs to the Massey test, that's the stand that blew up, that the rocket was on, and surrounding infrastructure are expected to be expensive. Yeah, it's going to be expensive. You know, and you know what he's going to do? Go back to the government for repair money. I know what he's going to do. Elon ain't going to get his money. He's going to go right back to the government for the repair money. How you doing, LVZ? Good to see you. Yeah, so that's going to be more taxpayer money going down the drain.
Now, in this other article that I just pulled up, so keep in mind the very people that voted. Okay, so this is how it's saying. This is how the article goes. It's official. Elon Musk company town. The town is called Starbase in deep South Texas. Is now the newest city. Residents living near the Cameron County launched a site voting overwhelmingly in favor of incorporating the community. And so in doing so, also selected the town's first city commission. Everything is internal. This is some bull crap. So some 173 people voted in favor of the incorporating during the early voting period, while 4 voted not, meaning the measure passed by nearly a whopping 98%. Yeah, see how he have everything rigged in his favor? So literally the residents of this new town who work for Elon, they're gonna vote for all of this, because that's their meal ticket at the end of the day and stuff. Wow, this doesn't surprise me, but this shows you how Elon always went his way. And like Lisa was saying, if something fails, he's not gonna touch the money. Because he's nothing more than a welfare recipient. He go run back to the government and they just throw money at him. He's a failure.
Repairs and probably get billions to repair it. That's what he's going to do.
Yeah, this is 36 rockets you have launched. This one, this is so bad, you didn't blew up the launch pad, the structures around it, and it's right off the coast of Texas. So that means when as deep as that is, that affects marine life and all of that. And that stuff lingers on for years with all the type of chemicals and all. that they use, because the type of force that they have to use to launch that stuff to try to get it out of space is enormous. And then on top of that, this bastard, you in your bed sleeping at 11 at night, you getting rattled out of the bed. Somebody on my channel said he needed to be deported. They need to cut him off.
No, but
like
here in this country, they don't deport white Europeans. They don't deport white Canadians, and they're not going to deport Elon. See, the white people are fine in Donald Trump's eyes. Anybody with a brown or black complexion, those are the ones that got to go. He ain't going to deport him. Even if he hates Elon, he ain't going to deport him. He should, but they're not going to look at those people. And you notice all the way up until now, even during his first term, you notice he never looked at getting white Europeans that are here illegally out. He didn't even do that in his first term. He ain't going to do it this time around either.
No, he not.
Yeah, he should deport Elon, but he won't.
Elon would really have to do something really, really tick him off. Well, no, I put it that no, Elon know too much about Trump, but that's just amazing to me that he got his own little city so he can do what he want to do, because he don't want no restrictions, and he still got his lip poked out that people are discriminating against him. He got the nerves to fix his mouth and say somebody discriminating against him, and he's talking about that he wants to have his program, his internet program over in South Africa. He's openly racist. He's openly hostile, and he wants to force it down your throat.
Right, but they said Elon causes a lot of problems. That's the reason why South Africa has been giving him pushback about starting anything over there, because number one, he don't respect the laws there. He wants to put stuff up and do whatever the hell he want, and the government has put their foot down and they won't let him do whatever he wants. And that's the problem. That's what he don't like.
Yeah, and then he got his lip poked out and got the nerve to say that they being racist towards him.
Yeah, but the same person that can get easily blindfolded can get billions of dollars from the government is talking about he's being discriminated against. If that's the most hypocritical thing, then I don't know what is.
His lips stay on the ground. It's incredible. It's never enough with him. I seen an interview a couple of weeks ago where he was literally in his feelings, because he's nothing but a big crybaby about how he's being discriminated against, and he can't even hide who and what he is. So his response to it all was, it ain't no big deal. You a failure, and you get rewarded for your failures.
That's how it works in America.
Yeah, I know. Have anybody ever seen that at work, where they'll screw up at work and they get rewarded for their failures at work,
or get promoted?
Yeah, but let us
there. They'll use excuses like, well, they tried. Okay, but if we did the same thing, you would be firing us. Okay, that is the difference. And number two, no, how do you give a man billions of dollars for a space program? And it's very clear Elon don't have no extensive knowledge about rockets or a space program or what it takes to launch. You can listen to that man and tell he don't have that kind of knowledge. He just hires people that may have a background in it, but he doesn't have that himself. But he's able to get these contracts.
Yeah, they do a lot of shucking and jiving. That's just how them people are overall. They shuck and jive each other, and then they fake it till they make it, and all. And see, in a situation like this, they won't fully get it until some dummies decide to get in one of them failed rockets and blow up 100 of them. That you remember when that millionaire and his son got, I guess they got on some type of short years ago on a submarine, and they went underwater.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that was in the news recently. They got to compensate the families of those folks, of those men that were lost. But yeah, I know what you mean. And they knew, and it's just like SpaceX. They knew that there were all kinds of issues with those submarines, and they took them down there anyway. And see, Elon knows there's a lot of problems with this space program he got, and he's still trying to launch rockets anyway.
Yeah,
and I with the government where they won't halt this stuff. See, that's why he wanted to work with Donald Trump to get all those investigations off of him. And he was being investigated for SpaceX too. And he fired all the people and closed down agencies that were investigating him. He wasn't saving this government, not one dime.
No.
Not one dime. And that's why when he left, they said the Doge program was unsuccessful because he did not save. I think they said the most savings they got was like $100 million. That was it.
That ain't no money. The kind of money.
So he said he was gonna save the country $2 trillion. He didn't even come close to it.
No, this was all about keeping his ass out of jail, because he even fixed his mouth to even said the things that he's doing will land him in jail. Let me see here. Okay, I wanted to say something real quick, Lisa. One of my oh boy, I'm lost for words today. One of my subscribers was saying down in Memphis, Tennessee, concerns have been risen by Black communities in Memphis, Tennessee, regarding potential environmental impacts of Elon Musk. Okay, yeah. Elon Musk is
he's doing a data center. Yeah, I know what's going on. Yeah, he's doing a data center there. And what he's doing is destroying the environment. And people are already feeling the effects of it. I've been reading about that. I know all about it.
I didn't know about this one. Damn, anywhere he go, it's a problem.
Yeah, that's why people don't want him around. And see, Elon act like he's so hurt that people don't like him. There's a reason why people don't like you. There's a reason why it's not just here in the US. The entire world is boycotting Tesla. There's a reason why people are taking that position. This man is arrogant. He's nasty. He takes joy in hurting people, and he doesn't care. He doesn't care. And look at how many Black employees have sued him for discrimination. I mean, the man don't care who he hurts.
Yeah,
he don't care.
They're saying on PBS. Now, this came out 5 days ago that the NAACP intends to sue Elon's. It's the XAI company. The stuff that's being impacted down there in Memphis.
Right. I've been hearing about that.
Yeah.
I want to take some time. LVZ, thank you for the super chat. This man has blown up more rockets than Wile E. Coyote. Yeah, you're right. Is using Acme material to build them. Yeah, you're absolutely right, LVZ. Right on target. And Tommy, no doubt, thank you for the new membership. Yeah, but the sad part is, y'all, I wish I could say this was the end of Elon and everything he's doing. It's not. Just give it a few, probably by the end of the summer, he's gonna be blowing up some more rockets. They're gonna let him continue on. They shouldn't. Now think about it. Hold on, let me just say this one thing. His dream is to take people up into space. After looking at all this, who the hell would get on an Elon Musk SpaceX rocket. He's
Uh,
gonna get on that shit.
He wants to go to Mars. Oh no. Yeah, but it's some dummies out there that'll jump in it and do it. And like I said, that's what it has to take with them, where folks is blown all up, and then, oh, well, we need to look into this. And all. This is incredible. You know, everywhere he go, he creates a problem because he's nasty. He's just nasty. His whole approach is nasty. He don't even belong over here. And then he got the nerves to bitch and complain because he can't have his way and all. Yeah. I'm just reading this article. I gotta look into this more. I'm glad that this was brought to my attention and stuff. You know, my stepson worked for Tesla for a while, and he ended up walking off the job. He said it was just too toxic with the racism, and it ain't nobody you can go to file a complaint because they just ignores it.
They said Elon allows those white supremacists that work in his company to openly use the N-word. And it gets to the point where people get tired of it. And that's why he's always getting hit with discrimination lawsuits. That right there tells you what kind of person Elon Musk is. And they said he won't get rid of the people that are the real perpetrators behind the toxic work environment. He keep them. And the black employees are either fired or they leave on their own. You know, it don't make any sense. But you know what? He gets government funding for Tesla as well. And in my opinion, after so many discrimination lawsuits, the funding should have been cut off. Why is the government funding somebody that is having some clear racial issues at his company? You shouldn't be funding him at all. Shoot, that is our money too going to Elon. That's government money, which means we all paid into that.
Now show you how he throws that money around. They're saying here, now this happened last year. So the Chamber of Commerce in Memphis made a surprise announcement in June 2024 that XAI planned to build a supercomputer in the city. The data center quickly set up shop in an industrial park south Memphis, near factories and gas power plants operated by Tennessee Valley authorities. So he always takes the backdoor approach and throw money at folks. And so them people that are on that board with the Chamber of Commerce, they got paid off. And
got paid off, and the politicians got paid off too, because they had to approve all that stuff as well.
Yes.
So, you know, that's as long as this company, not this company, but this country keep making him the richest man on earth, that's what he's going to always do. He's going to just throw money around and go in places and just ravish the place. And the people will be the ones left holding the bag.
Yes.
He's been doing this the entire time. And I had to laugh, True Royal. Somebody online was writing, Elon must be smart because look at everything he created. First of all, Elon did not create nothing. Every company Elon got, he bought from somebody, which means it was already established before he paid for it. He did not create one single thing.
And every company that he like you said, that he piggybacks on, he screws it up. That's what he does. He doesn't make it better. He go into it screwing it up. He go into it firing people. He takes a nasty approach. The dude is just nasty. And I don't understand the fascination with this dope fiend. That's how I look at him. He ain't nothing but a dope fiend, con artist. He a lot of things.
Yeah.
But it ain't good. And he don't belong over here.
Right. And the fact that he got a drug problem alone, he should not be eligible for a government contract.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he should not be eligible just being a junkie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there are certain criteria they have that will make it so if you're under certain circumstances and you show that you're not stable,
Mm-hmm.
they will not give you a government contract, which tells me all this time it never got revealed. That's probably why.
See,
he's
it's
gotten all
it's not impacting them.
right.
You know, we can complain about things in our community for years, but then when it hits their community, oh, then it's time to do something. This is classic. I mean, it's nothing new when it comes to them. They're so damn predictable with this. Then because I've seen it. We have all seen it. When they didn't got enough of each other, look how quickly they can shut each other down.
Yeah.
And
they said Elon is like that. They said I was reading Elon when he is around the employees, even the employees say they don't know what kind of person they're going to be dealing with. You know, they said some days he comes in there all fired up and he's fired up all day. Then the next day he's the total opposite.
Drugs.
You know, I hate to be around somebody like that every day. I would hate it.
Drugs.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
He a tweaker.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you look at him on that video, the last day he was in the Oval Office with Donald Trump, he was staring all up at the ceiling.
His eyes was rolling in his
head was rotating around in a circle. He was looking out. You know, you could tell that he ain't all there. You can just look at him and tell he's not.
I guess he lost his sunglasses that day, Lisa. There's a reason why he wear them sunglasses, because his eyes can't focus.
Yeah. No, he's tweaking because he's been on that mess for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He's been on it for a long time. That paranoia and all the tweaking and the way he talked, you know, it's all there.
Lisa, have you ever heard Elon talk when he's not on drugs?
Yeah, I know.
I found a video on a fluke, and he was giving a presentation at the space program, and I had to do a double take. He was so clear, and I'm like, damn, this is a whole different person. But for the most part, they said one time he was talking to the stockholders for Tesla, and he couldn't even pronounce a lot of the words. He was just high.
Yeah.
And somebody had to take over for him because he was just too strung out. And
but you can tell. Look, all the time he was with Donald Trump and he would be talking to the press, you can tell he's high. At least I can. I can. Buzzing on drugs.
Mm-hmm. Did you see that video of him, Lisa, where it looked like they were having a luncheon or something, and Trump was there, but they wasn't at the same table, and one of his baby mamas was sitting at the table, and he's playing with the utensils, and Trump said to him, "Are you okay?" or something. He said like, "What are you over there doing?" And the way his baby mama was sitting there, she was just used to that behavior. He is a junkie.
Yeah, well, wait until Stephen Miller's wife Katie get a full brunt of his, drug addict side.
I hope he wear her ass out, because I don't think Stephen Miller is gonna take her back after that because of the embarrassment, and that's good for him because I don't feel sorry for him because all he like to do is hurt people too.
Yeah, those are the kind of people Donald Trump likes around him. You know, I mean, he couldn't have a more incompetent group of people if he tried.
But I like I said, what I said when it comes to Elon, I think that Trump got tired of Elon coming to him, literally bawling out and crying and getting in the fetal position on the floor, holding his leg like they doing me so bad. People was leaking that out. Them staffers that worked there, they said that man was crying like a baby over this
Yeah,
test.
they told Donald Trump. Yeah, but they told Donald Trump, they said nobody at the White House liked him. They said the entire White House staff hated Elon. They couldn't wait to see him go. But see, Donald Trump, because of money, he subjected his people to that. And that just right there just go to show you Donald Trump was selfish. He had him up there for selfish reasons.
Yeah, and now he tired of his ass. Like you said, that Tesla he gave him, now Trump is trying to sell the Tesla. But we all knew that Trump don't like electrical cars.
He's trying to sell that little red car for $100,000. That's what Donald Trump is trying to sell it for. Who the hell wants a Tesla?
You can't even give the
Nobody
Tesla away.
Yeah. LVZ, you said True Royal, don't say Elon and leak.
We said elite.
Boy, yeah, he's a PP boy.
Yeah.
That ketamine, yeah, that ketamine, they said that's one of the side effects. They have no control over their bladder.
Yeah, I read an article about that. When he was up there in DC, they said his drug use, he was really taking a lot of drugs when he got up to DC, and they said it affected his bladder. Yeah, I read an article about it.
They said he was taking massive amounts of drugs the entire time. He was up working with Doge the whole time.
So basically what LVZ is saying, he was sharing diapers with Trump. Because, Trump got
that's probably what they had in common.
Well, Trump got an all new device. He got that little device that's attached to his leg. Did you see the diagram of that?
I saw it through his pants. It was through his pants.
I seen a diagram of how that they got that catheter attached to his leg and all of that. But yeah, it's something in his pants for real. Yeah, we know for sure now. Some people, thought, I don't know. But no, we know for sure.
I do know. No, I do know. Okay. I do know. No, something is definitely there.
Yeah, Dale, you
for the super chat. We all know that Trump don't like anybody outshining him. Well, that's damn near everybody up there. I mean, that's not a hard thing to do. And to be honest with you, True Royal, I don't believe Donald Trump works. You know what I think he does? When the press is there, that's probably the only time he's sitting in that Oval Office. I really truly believe after those press conferences are over, he gets up and leave. Because if you look at his golfing schedule, he's always golfing. He's always golfing.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they said they've already spent, what was it, $145 million on all the golf trips Donald Trump took up until now.
That's ridiculous.
That's like crazy.
That is outrageous, Lisa.
But he complained about Obama going. They said Obama didn't spend.
I'll be right back, Lisa. I'll be right back.
They said Donald Trump spends more money golfing than, because Donald Trump tried to complain about Obama golfing, and they said Obama didn't even spend a fraction of what Donald Trump has spent on all these golfing trips that he goes on. I don't believe he works. I think he goes in there here and there. He's there for whatever press conferences or world leaders that show up. But overall, I do not believe Donald Trump works that much. I would say he probably works anywhere from 2 to 3 hours a day. I don't believe he does more than that. Donald Trump ain't working no full day. You can best believe it. And he's not working like that. And he's always golfing. Yeah. Yeah, I believe it. You said he went golfing right after the strikes on Iran. Yeah, I'm going to be talking about that. I'm going to go on my podcast. There's a little more info that I found out about that I'm going to talk on my podcast about, because I haven't been on there for a while and I need to get back to my podcasting. But the bottom line is everything is not what it seems, y'all. It's a lot of deceptive things going on. And I'm going to talk about that a little more today. So, yeah, listen to what they say, but also use discernment and know chances are if their lips are moving, more than likely they're lying. And they are not telling you the truth at all. All right, so let me see here. I see one more in here. Let's see here. All right, Trump. But yeah, I think I got them all. Thank you. No, I've been had my podcast probably since 2023, I think. I just haven't been on it in a while, so I'm going to go back on. Well, I had my channel since 2015, my main channel. Yes. Yeah. So actually, August 18th will be officially 10 years for me on YouTube.
Yay! Come here,
Yeah.
baby. I got Nadia here with me.
Oh, okay.
Say hi, Nadia. Hi, Nadia. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, Nadia. Hi, Nadia.
Say hello.
Hello.
She's being shy. Hello.
Please.
Oh man. Well, y'all, just stay tuned to what's going on, and we'll definitely come back and do this again, because as long as Donald Trump is in office, we are never going to run out of material ever. We ain't gonna run out about nothing. Everything Donald Trump is going to supply us the stories.
If anybody feel compelled to put a channel together, do it, because it'll help us out. It's just so much stuff going on. I can't keep up.
Donald Trump has been like the Energizer Bunny since he's been in office. It's only been what, 6 months?
Yeah, 6 months. And
it feels like 6 years. It feels like 6 years, don't it? It feels like 6 years.
All the mess just popping off. It's incredible. It's incredible. But Trump, like I said, I think Trump thought this was going to be easy. This president, this is the one that's going. This is the one that's going to wear him out. Because even though he running to play golf and to do all that kind of stuff, watch eventually. Mark my words. Eventually, Trump ain't gonna even want to play golf no more. Because he gonna have to work, and he don't want to work. And I don't know how he's gonna be able to do what he want to do. And now we got a war going on.
Yeah.
And then you got an incompetent cabinet. See,
and you got a drunk in charge of your Department of Defense at a time of war.
Lord, well, Trump ain't even allowing him to be a part of the war plans or anything. He's ousted. They said he didn't turn his back on Pete Hegseth and what's that woman's name? I can't pronounce it.
But if you go back and listen to his speech, he did bring up Pete during his speech.
Yeah, that's one thing, but actions
No,
is
he
something
did
else.
bring him. But the bottom line is, though, he's still sitting in that position, and Donald Trump just provoked a war. So now what are you going to do? You put a low-level ranking military guy that got a
Lord.
drinking problem as your Department of Defense secretary. I mean, you couldn't make this up on your worst day.
And then he got his brother and wife got to babysit his drunk ass and cover for him, because I don't know what his brother could possibly be doing, working for him. And I don't know what his wife could be doing either, but they follow him everywhere. So he got babysitters because he can't keep his stuff together.
Wow. Yeah, I know. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and conclude. And, as more material comes out, I'll probably be back with other topics real soon. I'm sure I'm not going to be away that long, the way things are going.
Oh, okay. Let me see here. I don't want to leave nobody out before you step out. Thank you, LVZ, for your donations. And who is this? Cortland Taff. Thank you for your donations. And I need y'all prayers more than ever. Hopefully everything will go smooth. I will be getting my grandchildren next Saturday for the summer. So just continue to pray for my family. I need prayers more than ever. And I really appreciate y'all holding me up.
Right. So everybody enjoy the rest of your day. Shalom, family.
All right. Ashe to the royal family.